So I've had this on my mind for a good while, and honestly, it's time I finally talked about the reason why I think Michonne is not needed anymore in the Walking Dead universe. Hey guys, it's Dan. I'm your host here, Dan's Reviews, and today I am back for another Walking Dead video. For today, we're going to be doing another discussion video after the Walking Dead universe for 2024. Wanted to talk about this one. This is a massive one that I have been getting a lot of feedback from you guys on, and I wanted to give my opinions and my thoughts on this one. Now, this is a very big statement. I'm sure the first thing people are going to say is, Dan, why would you not want Michonne to return in the Walking Dead universe? Why wouldn't you want to see her again in the franchise? And let me kind of explain a little bit of what I'm talking about here. So, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, earlier this year, of course, had Michonne and Rick back together again. They gave us the reunion that we were wanting to see, and we got Michonne and Rick again in the franchise, leading their own thing, and we got to see them conquer everything. I mean, literally take down the CRM by the power of love. Despite how I feel about that, that's what they did. And Michonne and Rick had a happy and, lived happily ever after type of reunion, So, do we want more? From Rick, and obviously if you've been watching the videos, you know I want more of Rick. That's not even a question at this point. But I feel like Michonne is one of those characters that I feel like you don't need more of. And I kind of discussed this in a Q&A video that one of you guys asked a question about a few days ago. I just don't feel like Michonne is a needed character again in the franchise. She's back with her kids. She's back with Judith and RJ. She's, of course, gotten Rick back. She's accomplished her mission. I don't really think we need Michonne again. Now, to add to, of course, that as well, too, I would also say that Denai Guerrera is one of the hardest actresses to get at this point. She writes plays, she's a director, she is an actress in massive projects, she does a whole bunch of things, and getting Denai Guerrera, from my understanding at least, for The Ones Who Live, was already a project in and of itself. So I don't really think that if you really, really need her, if her story wasn't concluded, okay, makes sense to reach out to her. But Michonne is not one of those characters I think that you need to bring back. I really don't. Michonne, and like I said, I've thought about this for a while. Rick is unresolved. Rick has things that I still think needs to happen. His reunion with Daryl, his reunion with Morgan, and, additional things like that. Michonne is one of those characters that admittedly, I don't think we need her back. If they bring her back, obviously, I love Michonne. You know what I'm saying? I love her character, and I think that it would be great to see her still in the franchise. And, I want to make sure I'm clarifying. I'm not saying that I have anything against Michonne. I love Michonne. She's great. And I love Denai, and I love her acting. And if she came back, I would love that. But I'm not really in the kind of mindset that we need her back, I guess is what I'm saying. I feel like Michonne is the biggest optional thing you could do. You could bring her back and do something great, but if you didn't, you wouldn't catch me complaining. Rick is a demand for me. Michonne is not. Michonne, when I think about Michonne's ending in the franchise, I would think of Michonne being back home with her kids and that being the end of her character. Honestly, I really don't think you need to do anything with it. All I think you need to do is to do some kind of reunion with Rick and Morgan and Rick and Daryl, and you don't even need to have Michonne in it. You can have Michonne there if you want, but if you can't get Denai Guerrera back, I don't think it's a big issue. So, all that to say, I think Michonne's character is wrapped up. I am actually going to go out there and say, for the very first time in this franchise, I don't usually say that. I don't usually say something's wrapped up because Gimple has a tendency of not wrapping things up properly. But I can actually say for the first time, I do believe that Michonne has had a proper wrap-up in this franchise. And I also think that, in general, I don't think you need her to come back. Like I said, I do think Michonne is a great character, but I don't think you need to drag on her story. I feel like she's the one character in the franchise right now that you could properly say, yeah, that's concluded, and I would say, yeah, that makes the absolute most sense. So, that's kind of my opinions on Michonne. Obviously, again, if she ever does come back in the franchise, I would be happy to see it. I love Michonne's character, but I do think that this is the one character in the franchise right now that if you told me they were done, I would understand. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, it feels like the way that they write Rick, which This is a massive problem in the franchise. This is a problem. It feels like the way they write Rick lately, it's like they can't do anything if Michonne's not there. Like, it's like Rick's not good enough on his own, you know what I'm saying? That annoys me. That annoys the hell out of me. But I will say this. I guarantee you that if they bring Rick back and they didn't bring Michonne back, that it would all be perfectly fine. That's all I'm saying. And again, Denai Guerrera, and I've heard a lot of people say this too. They're just like, her actress is honestly better than this right now. The way the franchise is going, the unconcluded stories to some of these characters, why would Denai want to come back and undo her ending? You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. With Rick, you have things you have to do eventually. With Michonne, you really don't. You really don't need to have, like, what are you going to do? Bring Michonne back for Morgan's reunion? Like, okay, they can have a line or two, but they didn't really have a massive connection aside from the protein bar that she took. You know what I'm saying? And Daryl, I mean, yeah, her seeing Daryl would be cool, but they've seen each other recently, like up to about a year ago in the timeline. So I don't really think that you need to have that happen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Just kind of my opinions on it. Just kind of my thoughts. That's kind of my overall request is that if you bring Rick and Michonne back, cool. If you bring Rick back without Michonne, also fine. And overall, if this is it for Denai Guerrera in the franchise, then I say that's perfectly fine. I think that's the one time that you can write a character out and give them the ending that they had in The Ones Who Live, and I think that would be basically just fine. Honestly, yeah. So, let me know your thoughts down below. Post your thoughts. Do you agree with that? Or are you saying, no, Dan, disagree, I want Michonne back, no matter what? But my genuine question is for you, even if you're a massive, massive Michonne fan, do you see a reasonable story being told for Michonne's character? Because I don't, admittedly. But I would like to hear your thoughts down below. So, if you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos of The Walking Dead. Make sure, of course, to follow me on Dan's Views Official on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys way soon for more videos of The Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected, every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.